One of the questions I get asked is, how much maintenance does the rocket reel really need? And the good news is it's not very much. It was designed to be simple, durable, easy to maintain. There are no bearings, complicated mechanisms inside. So keeping it in good working order only takes a few minutes. The rocket reel doesn't require that much lubrication, but every once in a while, it's a good idea to apply some spray silicone like the WD-40 Specialist into the holes that I provided. There's one here, and there's always in line with the handle, and there's a hole here in the gear lever that you can spray from time to time. And the way I like to do that is I'll put the hose in here, give it a quick squirt. You can see it go in, and I will remove that. Do that and put it in the stealth mode. That way I can rotate the lubrication inside. But what I also like to do is move this to the other side. Give it a quick squirt there as well. Not too much on it, you can't. The ASA responds very well to silicone, and I want to move it around, make sure that the lubrication gets all on the inner race and outer race. So that's what this does, and you can't see it, but there is a groove on the inner race that allows that lubrication to go all the way around as you spray it. So if you were to move the reel just to make sure, and I like to spin it to make sure it's evenly distributed. Let gravity help you. You can see it coming through, and that's a good sign. And you can rub it in. I like to coat everything on the outside as well. Silicone also waterproofs, even though everything in this is sealed. I just like to give it that little extra layer of protection. And like I said, you can't have too much on this. The only thing is, when you spray a lot, you just gotta, it's just gonna take longer to dry. That's it, it's lubed. Okay, the silicone spray has had some time to dry. You see it's still a little wet there, because I put quite a bit. It's been maybe an hour. What you'll notice after you do that and it still hadn't had time to dry, it may feel a little, it's still smooth, but it's just, you can feel that there's a little resistance when you turn, but that gets much better after it's had time to completely dry. So if you're going to take this saltwater fishing, it's a really good idea to really coat this thing down the day before with silicone spray like I just showed you. And that just makes it so much easier when you rinse this off with water. It's waterproof and actually likes water, not to soak in it, but it's good to really rinse it out to get the salt so it doesn't dry in it. So after you get through saltwater fishing, I just give it a good rinse and focus on getting the water in through that hole. You don't need pressure, but just enough. And you can soak it for a little while, but then you just let it air dry after, and you can blow it off with some compressed air if you want. So one thing I like to do is use, you can say it's electronics duster. It's compressed air, but it's got that little tube that works really well to blow out anything that, the salt that might have got in there and dried. Say if you didn't have time to clean it directly after, you can just soak it, and then that right there helps. You see it blew some extra silicone out where it hadn't had time to dry yet. But that's pretty much all you got to do with that. It likes to get rinsed off, and like I said, the silicone helps to waterproof it, but it also prevents things from sticking to it and makes it much easier to clean. And also, if you've had it in, say, muddy water, like I've dropped this in a creek, and the slurry that comes up, it got in it, and I can still use it, I just feel a little resistance. I'll do the same thing. I like to keep it coated before I go out, and that way it just makes it much easier to get that grime out, but it still works just fine like new. I should also say that, once you do clean it, I would make sure it's thoroughly dry before applying the silicone spray. It just gives the silicone an opportunity to get in to the pores, because one benefit of this being 3D printed is it does have, I don't know if you can see there, the little layer lines. Well, that makes it so that the silicone has a perfect place to get in and dry, and that's partially, I've got some internal features that help it spin freely as it does, but that really helps for the silicone after it dries. It gives it a place to adhere to, and just makes it really smooth. I mean, it does feel like a bearing, but I think the silicone helps out in here, but not, it's probably not as beneficial, but I just spray the whole thing down and helps it dry. It doesn't seem to affect the braking action whatsoever after it's dried. That's a positive. Okay, before I take my gear out, I always like to check, especially when I'm backpacking, I just check the hardware, make sure this is a little snug, just give a little turn. I've never had to tighten that because it was loose. The other thing, I'll take off the handle. I'll check to make sure this screw is tight. You have to hold the inner and outer braces of the reel, keep it from turning, but I've never had to worry about that one backing out either. Use a 7/64 ball-end Allen wrench, and to check this, let me show you the screw here I'm talking about. You got these two, and this holds the line bracket to the reel. Kind of see in there how I'll just give that a little turn to make sure it's tight, but it goes up into the self-locking nuts, and really I just most of the time give us a visual. I've got this designed so that that end of that screw is flush with the nylon patch you see, and I can see that that hasn't backed out, and the nylon self-locking screw prevents it from getting loose. These screws I'll never check. Those are actually glued in. They don't attach anything, they just provide extra stiffness for when the handle locks in. The way I check my switch is if I've got the correct amount of pressure I like. I'll never have to really check that screw in there. But I do have in another video for tips and tricks, I talk about how you can adjust this to adjust what kind of tension you have when you go from drag to the anti-reverse and stuck mode, because there's two different tensions. One between what I call first and second is a lot easier than going into drag, and that's intentional. So when I'm using it, most of the time I'm switching a lot between these two, but not drag, and those are intentionally harder. But that's pretty much it. I'll check to make sure my drag pressure is what I'd expect it to be, and if I've got this wore or I need to adjust this out, I go over that in the tips and tricks. But like I said, I've never had to worry about that. This TPU brake has not let me down yet. When you're finished fishing, you store it someplace dry, out of direct sunlight. Any place under 200 degrees Fahrenheit is good. It's like most fishing equipment. You want to keep it in a moderate temperatures. That's really about it. And a rocket reel is designed to spend more time fishing than sitting on a workbench. So quick rinse after saltwater use, so occasional inspection, some lubrication every now and then. That's really all it takes. If you ever have any questions or need replacement parts, visit ridgerunnergear.net and reach out to me through the contact page. And don't forget, just run the ridge.